this is Joe. This is a quick tour of my Star Trek project. I'm just going to walk around the player stations to give you an idea of better what it really is. Again, these markups are in my basement, my workshop, so in the real world as envisioned, it'll be a little bit more immersive, but right now it's just in prototype stage in my basement. And I would say forgive my carpentry skills. I'm better at other things than carpentry, but I did my best to make the consoles. So first we're going to go to the tactical console, which is here. As you can see, hopefully without the light, so turn that down some. You can see with the tactical console, it is basically what you would expect from a Star Trek bridge console. It has the grids, which tells you where your targets or your objects are. In this case, you can see the Cardassian symbol, which tells us we have a Cardassian and the date. This larger symbol here is a planet, and that little speck right there is the ship itself. On the other side, you can see you have the ability to zoom, target identification, and then switch over to weapons and torpedo information and weapon screen. You would just simply, and this is a touch screen, so you would just simply touch the screen to select the target, in this case selecting the Cardassian, and then you can go to the weapon screen and it would just come up and tell you a little bit more about that particular weapon, that particular target. Well, like so, as you can see, it gives you the full outline of what the target is, and also the valuable stats there: front shield, hull, impulse, power, and a few other things. And if you wanted to go with library data, you could. You can also do an energy scan, a scan of the ship itself. And as you can see, this when you do the scan, it will give you all sorts of information. Like this one has some damage and some other permits. Just hit it again, and it goes away. You can also do a life scan. As you can see there, I can show you the life forms on the board, where they are, and as you can see, they are constantly moving because it is a ship. And you can just simply go back to tactical screen, and that is the tactical screen. And of course, if you decided to fire, you can hit phase of fire and torpedoes. Next, this is the captain's chair. Nothing going on there right now. But this is the engineering screen, and the engineering section. As you can tell, you have two screens. One has power allocations, and it shows you that, and also has some where you would put the shield power, and you got your life support, your core temperature, and your battery status. I won't get too much in that right now. And of course, you have your levels that you can change by adding points to these things. We're not really set up for that yet, but there you go. And if the core temperature moves up, it changes color, and life support gives you life support status. It also changes color as it drops. So like that. It's simplified, but I decided to make it that way because I went with a more complex scheme, and I realized for someone who's just trying to pick up the game in a few minutes, it would be far too complex, as much as I would love to, but far too complex. The next screen is the damage control screen, and it's, again, what you expect to see on a Star Trek ship: an outline of the ship itself, information on the status of the systems like the bridge, life support, main thruster, status away. The shields, it'll tell you what the shields are. In this case, I've been doing some stuff, so don't mind the numbers, but it will give you a percentage of what the shields are, both starboard, port, aft and forward. Gives you if your phaser bank is damaged or if it's operational, torpedo offline and left and right warp engines and impulse. Also, if you take hull breaches, you would see those appear on the outline here. The last part of that is the actual interface itself. This is where you can touch the screens and make things change, like adding power to certain, so forth like that. And that's how you would go about making changes on the ship itself. You see there's a damage control. Basically, damage control, you hit the damage control button to tell the damage teams where to go, and they will tell you how long it will take to repair the damage at what level and at what level. Here's the controls for the shields. You can up, down, and battery control, which I won't get into much right now. And of course, my all favorite core ejection, in case things get really bad. And actually, it's my proudest part. I actually really like that. It's based a lot on Starfleet paddles, the way the system works, if you're familiar with that. Next comes the navigation and helm console. I try to make it look as much as possible a combination of the old series and the next gen, where it has that console look, but it also has a touchscreen. Again, this is all touchscreen here. It's a simple guiding here. And you can move the ship around as you see. Using this, you can also, just with your finger, you can set impulse speed. Turn the light out here too. You can set impulse speed and warp speed. The pool, I call it power, the impulse pool and warp pool, the energy you would get from the engineering section, and that's what you have to play with. Here's the controls here, and also some pertinent information for the helmsman, like current coordinates, destination set, warp engines, etc., etc. More on that later. The next one is dead, unfortunately. I loaned my computer out for work, the one that drives this one. This would be the long-range navigation and long-range sensors and navigation. Unfortunately, I can't turn that on because I don't have a computer yet, but it's interesting if you can actually see it. And last but not least is the main controller. Right now I'm using a 50-inch screen TV. And it would be in a different bezel to give it more of a feel, but it does a pretty good job. As you can see, we're looking at a Cardassian right now. Doesn't look very happy, but such is life. And behind him is the planet. The planet is also the thing you saw earlier on the tactical screen, and that is the Cardassian you also saw on the tactical screen too. So, and that's about it. That's the walkabout. Like I said, it's come along pretty well, and when I switch over to Unreal Engine, I suspect it's going to look even better. The Unreal graphics are outstanding, but I think right now I have a good prototype to show you guys. Alright, that's it. Thanks for your time.